My dear ones, today we're analyzing Lauren Sanchez, the wife of the richest man on the planet, Jeff Bezos. And I'll say right away that when I first saw this woman, I had a question. What's so special about her that a billionaire left his wife for her, the woman he lived with for 25 years? Let me show you. Lauren Wendy Sanchez was born on December 19, 1969. She's 54 years old. And I must admit she looks very good for her age. Although plastic surgeons have worked on her extensively, of course, but we will talk about that later. I want to say right away that her numerological portrait is simply a textbook on how to become a woman magnet for rich men. And it doesn't matter whether it was conscious or she intuitively followed her numbers. The result speaks for itself. But before we dive into her numbers, I want to say that I'm preparing a course for you when I'll teach you how to calculate compatibility with your partner and understand who you need in relationships. I'll tell you about it in detail in one of my upcoming videos, because Lauren's story is a classic case study. So, what do we see when we look at her? The first thing that catches the eye is an incredible amount of artificiality. She constantly plays the role of a seductress, flirts with men and uses so many pickup techniques that other women just get furious. But men like it. Look how she behaves. She shows that there are many men around who look at her and she reacts as if casually. She really needs and enjoys this male attention. She constantly smiles, is always positive, radiates sunshine. And you know what? This works. Because she transmits exactly what a woman should transmit. If a man should be serious, project confidence, generosity, care for a woman, then a woman, on the contrary, should demonstrate light behavior, absolute carefreeness, endless laughter, positivity, rainbow mood. Lauren behaves exactly like this. Easily, not only with Bezos, but with other men too. She transmits that she enjoys herself without an obsessive desire to get married, either sincerely or artificially. We don't know, but it works. Another pickup technique that Lauren uses is egoism and demonstrative self-love. She has many affairs, she's always busy with something, striving somewhere. Now she needs to fly to space, then she decided to throw a party, then she wants to be on the cover of Vogue, then she needs a magazine and Jeff buys it for her. Everything for his beloved. This way she transmits to Jeff that she's wonderful, everyone needs her, she's interesting, she lives her unusual, rich life. She's not easy accessible. This is a classic of the genre, my dear ones. Now let's move to her numerological portrait and you'll understand why she's so successful at haunting billionaires. She was born on the 19th, and this immediately explains a lot. People born on the 19th are very positive, active, fiery, realistic and materialistic. And most importantly, they love to be in a leadership position. They don't tolerate competition. Birth month, December, that is 12, which means the energy of the 3 of the Empress. This is bright, emotional, very warm, very positive energy. Such people always have many friends around them, always a noisy company, they never sit still, very mobile and generally very bright personalities. 3s perfectly sense fashion, beauty, art. They have excellent imagination, good sense of taste and style. Family is very important to them. Children are very important, they can't live without these. They are very family-oriented by nature and very domestic. They love the family hearth very much. But there are also extremes. The first is pride, dominance, suppression of others, using one's status and egoism. Also the minuses are control, psychosis, excessive emotionality, inability to manage these emotions. What else is interesting? Lauren has 6 energy in the sphere of relationships. For a woman, this means a biased attitude towards herself. She nitpicks herself, looks for problems in herself. This is a good girl complex. She tries to be good for others, a proper girl. Therefore, Lauren chooses beautiful men. She values body, beauty, aesthetics, and all external attributes of wealth. She herself pays special attention to caring for her appearance, and the man next to her should constantly give compliments, especially for her appearance. By the way, low self-esteem, which sits deep inside and which she doesn't show, and the desire to bring herself to perfection results in numerous plastic surgeries that Lauren has had. The next energy that so attracts men is the 11th energy in the sphere of relationships. This is the energy of strength, health, and sexual activity. She's very sexually active, healthy, strong, and she wants to see next to her a man full of desire to live, very active, sporty. She doesn't accept weakness and laziness. Weak men cause her aggression and the desire to put them in their place. She can be aggressive, scream, destroy, or suppress herself. By the way, spoiler, Jeff in the intimate sphere is not as active as Lauren. He needs much less frequent and less than her. So let's see how long this marriage will last. And speaking of the future of their relationship, let's look at what awaits Lauren next year from a numerological perspective. The next year will be a year of health and body for her. There may be activation of chronic diseases, stress, heavy physical loads, overwork, and exhaustion. Also, next year there will be tests related to friendship. So I wish her to pass them with dignity. And it's also a year of diligent, meticulous work. Often during such periods, divorces happen. Moves are possible. However, I think she's unlikely to divorce Bezos, having just married him. But anything can happen. It's important for her the next year not to rush, not to hurry, not to launch new business, but to overcome barriers related to family. And you know, I would really like to say that she might get pregnant this year, but probably unlikely at her age. Although maybe surrogacy, who knows? With billionaires, everything is possible. Now, let's look at her compatibility with her ex-husband Patrick. By birth date, they met to learn how to live in the moment, develop together and learn new things, become an example in everyday life. This is a karmic union. In such a couple, there are a lot of lessons. They learn from each other and transform. One is a teacher for the other. This can manifest in age difference, education, level of knowledge. If we look at their love compatibility, there is a number of family. Such compatibility speaks for quick marriage, creating a family and having children. In this couple, people usually marry quickly. But there is an exception. If one married or in a relationship, it turns out to be initially dishonest relationship. And I found information that Lauren was engaged and Patrick had a relationship at the time of their meeting. History repeating, as you can see. In general, my dear ones, when I study women like Lauren, I always think about how they know how to use their feminine energy to the fullest. Yes, maybe it looks artificial. Yes, maybe it's calculated, but the result speaks for itself. She managed to charm one of the richest people on the planet, made him divorce his wife for her and marry her. Isn't this a masterclass in feminine power? Another thing is that such relationships are built more on passion and mutual benefit than on deep love. Let's see how long this lasts, because when passion subsides, will there be anything else left? But for now, Lauren enjoys her status as a billionaire wife, flies to space, appears on magazine covers, and lives the life that millions of women dream of. What can I say in conclusion? Lauren Sanchez is a woman who knew exactly what she wanted and went toward her goal without being distracted by moral doubts. Her numerological portrait is perfectly suited for the role of a billionaire's wife. You can condemn her, you can envy her, but you can't deny she achieved her goal. And now she lives in luxury that most can only dream of. My dear ones, subscribe to the channel and write in the comments who else to analyze from a numerological perspective. I'll analyze those who will be interesting.